Demos are an essential part of the video game economy. If you're on the fence about making a purchase, demos are an excellent way to sample games without spending money and give you the opportunity to experience games you may have never tried otherwise. Accessing demos today is as simple as turning on your console and visiting the shop. But before that, the only way to learn if DreamWorks Madagascar was worth $20 was to drive your ass to Target and pray some unsupervised 33-year-old mouth breather isn't hogging the demo unit while his parents look at clothes. The greatest thing about the in-store demo is you never knew what to expect. One day could be Chibi Robo, the next it's Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. But these are just one game, one opportunity to sell you something. If DJ Hero ain't your flavor, Best Buy isn't making a sale. So if there was a way to put multiple games on the TV at once, all the world's problems would be solved. And thus, the multi-game interactive demo disc was born. These CDs have a collection of demos and trailers on them, really giving power to the player, and they were often replaced every month to refresh the latest releases to advertise to the masses. The expectation was probably that these discs would be thrown out when they're no longer relevant, but many made their way into the pockets of employees who would sell them in the black market. I've acquired a few, and that's because these are the discs with Mario Party demos on them. I'm a huge Mario Party fan. I'm making retrospectives on them all, and over the years, I've been collecting these demo discs to archive in a video. So let's start things off with the Mario Party 4 demo, and this is definitely the most interesting one, because Mario Party 4 never had a demo in the United States, so I had to charge through the catacombs of eBay to find someone who not only had the disc for sale, but also shipped internationally. And you know what? I'm not proud of how expensive this was, especially considering the unfortunate side effect of importing. I've mentioned before that I import Japanese GameCube games, but this is my first PAL game, so I don't know if the screen glitch is a result of playing PAL games on an NTSC console, or if the regional hertz difference has something to do with it. But it gets weirder, because after opening the Mario Party 4 demo, my HD upscaler switches from PAL to NTSC, and everything's working fine. Everything but the Star Fox demo and Harry Potter trailer does this, so if anyone has an explanation, I'd love to hear it. But regarding Mario Party 4, well, first of all, you can do 4-player on this thing, which shocked me, because I've never seen a kiosk with more than 2 controllers, and this is also the only game on the disc supporting multiplayer. But there's 3 minigames available here, and being the first Mario Party on the GameCube, I think it's really important what minigames are represented, because they may not just be selling the game, but also the console itself. And I think the 3 we end up with are Mario Party 4's top 3 free-for-alls. Booksquirm is, without a doubt, Mario Party 4's identity. It's the most talked about and loved thing about this game, so not including it here would have been foolish. Next is Domination. Maybe not the most visually striking game, but it does demonstrate how many polygons the GameCube can load at once for you graphic whores out there. You know I can get down with the button masher, and I imagine the high score elements of the game drew in a lot of attention. So once again, a great choice for the demo. Last of the bunch is Toad's Quick Draw, which I really enjoy in multiplayer, but on a single player demo, maybe not the best selection. If I were to replace it, Goomba Stomp's a compelling option. It's perfectly suited for walking in the... what's the British equivalent to Walmart? If I'm skulking round the Asda and I see a lad chuffed to bits playing Goomba Stomp, why, I just might pinch myself a copy. So besides Mario Party, I said these discs all have a handful of other demos and trailers on them, and the first highlight I gotta make is Super Mario Sunshine. I've yet to mention this, but Mario Sunshine is the only GameCube game I love more than Mario Party. This is one of my favorite games of all time. I don't know why I haven't made a retrospective yet, but it will happen this century. There's 6 stars available from Bianco Hills, Rico Harbor, and Gelato Beach, and the selection's pretty solid. Blue coins can be collected, Gelato Beach's secret star, and Rico Harbor's 100 coins are available, so there is more than meets the eye. Fucking Gelato Beach skip is possible. I'll save the passionate drooling for another video, but demo or not, Super Mario Sunshine is absolutely a game I recommend. Beach Spikers is a gooner's dream. Women's beach volleyball. Oh, I nut when they hugged. Beach Spikers was originally a Japanese arcade game before it went global, and it's decent. Camera's kind of wacky. You know, there's nothing wrong with sex appeal, but I can't stop thinking about this demo being at a Toys R Us and generating some sales. In Europe, there's a huge pair of tits plastered on the box, and that might be the funniest thing I've ever seen. The last demo is Star Fox Adventures, which has the buggy colors. So here's a trailer instead. I'm sure this disc was someone's furry awakening. Now I own Star Fox Adventures, but as a Nintendo fanboy, it's my civic duty to never play any Star Fox game. game. This is more of a Zelda clone than a rail shooter, and one of my favorite pieces of trivia is that this game was originally meant to be a Nintendo 64 title called Dinosaur Planet. A ROM is available online, and I've been meaning to check it out someday. So that's disc 1, and the second is just as unique. Mario Party 5 had a demo in stores, but it was also available to the public. The Mario Kart Double Dash bonus disc, bundled with some copies of the game. It's a similar type of fare. Demos, trailers, the ability to hook up your Game Boy Advance to earn some Fire Emblem DLC. One of my most sought after games I will never buy because it's $400 and rising is the demo disc with Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire DLC that gives away shiny Zigzagoons. But regardless of the disc, Mario Party 5's demo will always be the same, and that includes this title screen. And the reason I brought it up is because the press start graphic in the demo uses the same colors as the file select screen in Super Mario 64. I hate that my brain just knew this. There's 5 minigames this time, 3 free-for-alls and 2 duels. So right away, this demo wants you to know that the duels absent from Mario Party 4 are back. I've been flip-flopping if I think including them is a good idea, and I'm gonna say yes. Button Mashers and Shy Guy Showdown are bland, what you see is what you get type games, and that makes them very digestible for anyone walking by to quickly understand what's happening and form a simple opinion. They exhibit visual clarity, and when your goal is to sell something in a short amount of time, transparency like that is valuable. Now on the Mario Kart bonus disc you can play at home 1,000 times. Yeah, no, these are terrible inclusions. Shy Guy Showdown sucks. The free-for-alls though are pretty good inclusions. Dinger Derby and Pushy Penguins are 2 of my favorite Mario Party 5 minigames, and they certainly translate to a demo environment. Just like Mario Party 4's Book Squirm and Domination, these are straightforward and very replayable. And running out the selection is Coney Island, which is somehow Mario Party 5's poster child, but I've always found it underwhelming. Sub it out for Leaf Leap, and you have a really strong group of minigames. For the other games on this disc, it's amusing F-Zero has a demo, and Kirby Air Ride has a trailer. I suppose the best thing to market someone who just bought a racing game is more racing games. If you want to hear my thoughts on Kirby Air Ride, I've got a positive and completely rational video essay up on my channel. And F-Zero is fine. I've dabbled in the series and heard this game's tough, so it was surprising how easy the demo was. Sonic Heroes makes an appearance with 2 levels to play, and ignoring the demo, this is the game that made me stop being a Sonic fan. The controls kinda suck, and I especially hate the combat. There's no Chao Garden, multiplayer takes forever to unlock. I don't think it's a bad game, it just isn't made for me. Real shit comes from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles demo, a beat 'em up with sluggish attack animations that have so much end lag, you're exposed to retaliation. I discovered L canceling could reduce the weight, but it still didn't stop me from dying 2 times. The crazy thing about this is, it isn't even the worst Turtles game on the GameCube. I have Mutant Nightmare, one of this game's sequels, and oh my god, it's the worst game I own. Levels are either stupid easy or have some bullshit going on. I remember the first boss being impossible unless I battled him in multiplayer. It is an awful experience. For trailers, I don't have much to say. 1080 Avalanche is a game I've played for an hour. SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom is on my radar. The only one I want to talk about is Pokemon Coliseum, and I haven't even played it yet. Somehow I avoided the GameCube Pokemon games despite being a diehard Pokemon fan, and I've been sitting on these copies for 5 years waiting to do a blind retrospective someday. But like Mario Sunshine, they just aren't on the schedule yet. Moving on to the Mario Party 6 disc, this one is beefy. It's the holiday of 2004, and you can see the desperation to push out some software. Hell, they're even promoting the Nintendo DS. It still blows my mind this thing came out in 2004 because I hardly paid attention to it until 2007. I always avoided the DS demos because of how intimidating 2 screens were. Looking at this thing was like trying to comprehend an angel or a god. My brain wasn't programmed for this plane of existence. It was programmed for Mario Party though. The 6 demo stepped things up once again with 6 minigames to play. At the rate we're going, the Mario Party 20 demo is going to be the whole ass game. Mario Party 6 is the day-night gimmick where boards and minigames have 2 different versions. So of course, that's getting shown off in the demo. What goes up is a platforming game. In the daytime, you're jumping off clouds and Koopas to see how high you can get. And at night, it's the opposite. Platforms are now obstacles, and the goal is to reach the ground the quickest. Not a ton of minigames in Mario Party 6 have 2 different versions like this, and I find it very interesting that the nighttime variant has a name. In the demo, it's called Must Come Down, but shares what goes up in the final. Now it's got me wondering if these reversal mini games were meant to be more prominent in the early stages of development. Besides those, we got Odd Card Out, Catch You Letter, Snow World, and Cannonball Fun. and this might be the weakest of the demos. Who the fuck picked Odd Card out? I think you could get more sales stabbing your customers. It's not fun alone, its multiplayer is considered torture in 45 countries. I think the Odd Card Out demo is single-handedly responsible for Mario Party 6 being the worst selling Mario Party. This really is a bizarre collection of minigames to put on a demo. What goes up does what it's gotta do, but skill-based games like that can isolate new players. Snow World's a good choice on the principle of button mashers. Catch a Letter is popular, but let's not get carried away. And then Cannibal Fun is... it's unobjectionable, but I'm not putting it on a demo. I'm actually struggling to come up with replacements because, while I think Mario Party 6 has a fantastic set of minigames, I don't think very many translate to the in-store demo experience. Gun to my head, I'm subbing in Hyper Sniper and Control Stick. The next demo we got is one I did play back in the day, and at a Shopco of all places, and it's the only video game I've ever bought because of my experience with the demo. Mario Power Tennis. And this is greatly because the game features Super Mario Sunshine themed courts, and the Rico Harbor map instantly captured my attention. Dude, I took tennis lessons because of this game, and this is so wild because I don't even like tennis. I don't even like this game. I haven't touched it in a decade. Shout out to Mario Sunshine for riding my brain to financially detrimental levels. What I should have used that money on is Paper Mario The 1,000-Year Door, which has 4 different parts of the game available and a 2D Bowser section. I've talked about Paper Mario 64 in the past, which is another one of my all-time favorites, but my relationship with The 1,000-Year Door is funky. This is a game I'd rent very infrequently, so what would happen is I'd complete a chapter, develop dementia, then forget what I was doing. I will say the updated combat is exactly what the series needed, and the writing is so much wittier. Honestly, this is one of the funniest games I've ever played, but man, 64's charm is just too hard to beat. Our next demo is Baton Kaitos, one of the more popular games in underrated gem discussions. I was drawn in right away seeing Monolith made this. The art direction definitely shares that Xenoblade vibe, and the music instantly reminded me of Tales of Arise, which shares the same composer. Unfortunately, the demo wasn't good. I'm not familiar with card-based combat, and this looks like it could have a lot of depth. But the whole time, I mindlessly spammed cards and never felt in danger. I'm sure the real game explains all these mechanics and actually poses a challenge, but from the little bit I got, I've seen enough. We also got demos for Beautiful Joe 2, Metroid Prime 2, and Tak 2 here. I've got nothing valid to say about these, especially when perfection like Tak 2 speaks for itself. So let's dig into these trailers. Donkey Konga is one of my guilty pleasures. I think there's a common misconception that you need the GameCube bongos to play this, but I've always preferred using a standard controller. I straight up recommend Donkey Konga 2. Its playlist is so much better with hits like Drive and Trouble. You know, I just found out girls don't like it when you tell them Hit 'em Up Style Oops is the best song in the game. Tony Hawk's Underground 2 has the wackiest trailer maybe ever. This game released during Bam Margera Mania. Basically, Bam Margera became the new face of skateboarding thanks to a starring role in the Jackass movies. Underground 2 was the civil war of skateboarding games. Tony Hawk versus Bam. So unsurprisingly, Activision used all their precious marketing real estate to show Bam's naked dad shredding the gnar. This trailer has no Tony, no Bam, but lots of Phil Margera. Hashtag don't feed Phil. There's a promo for the F-Zero anime on this disc, which I never even knew existed, and apparently the show has 36 episodes of lost media involved. Coincidentally, the Mario Kart disc advertised Kirby Right Back At Ya, and I don't know if this is a hot take, but I think cartoons based on video games suck. Like outside of Pokemon, I have never sat through a full episode of any of these shows and wanted to watch another. Let's wrap things up with the last disc I got, and they fucking delivered with the Mario Party 7 demo. 7 has some of the best minigames in the series, and this demo made sure everybody knows that. 10 minigames this time, and none of them are duds. Mario Party 7 introduced 8-player minigames where 2 people share a controller, and this is what the demo kiosk was made for. 8-player minigames on a 4-player console is too abstract of a concept that you won't fully get it unless you're standing next to your mate at Kmart and experiencing the Switchcraft firsthand. And putting this type of minigame for display is especially genius for parents shopping with their kids and swasser-dogging them into thinking they only need one controller for the game. Diabolical marketing. Of these minigames, we got Grin and Bar It, Gimme a Break, Bumper to Bumper, and Babomic Plague. A really solid group I don't think needs any changes. And on top of that, there's 6 free-for-alls with Track and Yield, Fun Run, Ghost in the Hall, Cartwheeled, Air Farce, and Funsticle Cores. This is a demo that understood the assignment. Every game here has length, replayability, a minimal need for skill, and are fun to play alone. I could definitely see myself being an unsupervised 33-year-old mouth breather, creepily playing this demo at Target for an hour while my parents look at clothes, and then begging them to buy me the game once they return. Another Mario demo here is Super Mario Strikers, and I have a rough history with this game. I love Mario Strikers. It was the go-to game I played with my best friend in primary school, so I have a lot of memories playing this with him. But, not to trauma dump or anything, but him and I broke up over a stupid conflict and haven't spoken since. So unfortunately, whenever I play this game now, it gives me a lot of awkward feelings. The demo's a pretty pure version of the game for what it's worth. Lots of settings are locked, but in the short run you get, it's exactly what you'd be paying for. And our final demo of the day is Pokemon XD. I was going back and forth debating if I want to try the demo or keep my virginity for the blind review. But I let my curiosity get the better of me, and I'm sort of glad I did, because now I'm more eager to play the whole game. What can I say? Good GameCube water graphics have that effect on me. I only got to play 2 battles, but what I want to talk about is the Pokemon they gave me. Gardevoir and Parasect. Name 2 worst Pokemon to entice a gamer boy to want to buy your game. And if you disagree, please look down at your Gardevoir titty mousepad, waifu body pillow, and 8TB folder of AI fan art and reevaluate your life. Parasect I get because the demo really wants you to use Spore to put shadow Pokemon asleep and catch them. So obviously the best partner to give it is the 125 base special attack nuclear warhead that kills everything it touches in one hit. And here I thought the newer games were too handholdy. On the trailer side of things, to make up for the lack of demos, they've pissed bucket loads of these. And I have been dying to talk about Sims 2 ever since I started this channel. Sims 2 on console is one of the most hidden gems out there. My sister and I have rented it 8 times, easily making this our most rented game. Actually, when our grocery store liquidated their video game rentals, this is one of the games I snagged. What makes Sims 2 so good is its multiplayer and story mode. It's the perfect game to rot away for a week and complete at your own pace, while simultaneously role-playing with the NPCs and fucking shit up. I've got a lot of fun memories pretending Felicity is the world's biggest bitch, and watching my sister speedrun having sex with Ozzy. We always wound up restarting our file because Sims 2 eats up 147 blocks on a memory card, and for a game we didn't own, that's a lot to ask for. SSX on Tour looks like another one of the hundreds of generic snowboarding games from this generation, but the trailer does the game a massive disservice, because exclusively on the GameCube, Mario, Luigi, and Peach are playable, but unless you looked at the box, there'd be no way of knowing. Yeah, randomly Nintendo let EA use these characters for 2 games, and I kinda want them for how stupid that is. I don't have much input on the rest of these trailers. Dance Dance Revolution Mario Mix is another weird Mario crossover. Fire Emblem Path of Radiance continue the series' failure in our market. The Game Boy Micro has an ad. I've always thought it was a neat but inferior iteration on the handheld. And Baseball All-Star and local Christ figure Derek Jeter made a sermon to educate parents on the ESRB. I mean, if Derek Jeter says Banjo-Tooie, a game with minge and penis innuendos every 5 minutes is okay for my 6-year-old to play, who am I to question his word? So those are the GameCube Mario Party demo discs. After this generation, multi-game demo discs quickly lost relevance with the rise of digital media. Games can now be installed onto kiosks, and were probably updated to constantly refresh their libraries. And with this innovation in technology, in-store demos have started to disappear. Physical media has been on the decline, people aren't leaving their houses and are downloading demos at home. Stores don't have as much motivation to want these kiosks hogging their aisles, so they've gradually become discontinued. You can thank the Wii U for that one. While the in-store demo scene is still going strong, I rarely ever see them being used during my visits to the store. I know I never try these things, but that's because I'm an adult with money and internet access now. I'm not gonna stand around GameStop and touch a controller with like 16 different sexually transmitted diseases on it when I can take a gamble and spend $60. Or like I said before, just download the demo at home. Besides Mario Tennis, the most I got out of these things was Street Pass in the 3DS kiosk for puzzle swap pieces, playing Super Mario Galaxy when the game was sold out everywhere, and trying out Mario Kart 8 before it released. And the fact I remember those speaks volumes to the importance of in-store demos. Even if it's just for a couple minutes at a time, playing on these kiosks has created memories and opinions on games I still hold today. Whether or not you play them, demos are great. Thanks for watching the video, I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to leave a like as it'll help the channel grow, and subscribe to get updates on my uploads as soon as they happen. But until then, I will see you all next time.